Right. So same as usual, working at your own pace, making sure that nothing is causing pain or discomfort, especially as in joint pain. So finding a comfortable position if you're lying down, encouraging the arms to open, the front of the chest, the front of the shoulder to roll out and relax. If I'm sitting up, see if I can give myself a little bit more space at the front to encourage the diaphragm, to allow the diaphragm to move better and create a more relaxed breath. So once that you feel that the body's a little bit more settled, feel a little bit more relaxed, same as usual, just focusing on the breath to see if I can find that nice relaxed belly breath. Feeling the belly expanding on the inhale and relaxing on the exhale. Noticing any tension in the neck, collarbone, across the front of the chest to see if I can avoid that tension, see if I can relax that tension away. And then as you feel the breath is a little bit more relaxed, so the body feels a little bit more settled, then I'm going to start working from the neck. I'm going to start turning the head gently from one side to the other. Same as usual, just a gentle rotation, making sure that I'm not exaggerating, nothing should be pinching, I'm not forcing, I'm not causing myself a pain. And then as you keep that rotation going, see if you can start focusing on how the head is turning right and left. So is my chin dropping, is my chin lifting as I turn to the right? Is it doing the same when I'm turning to the left? Is my shoulder drawing backwards as I turn in that direction? Can I keep the shoulders still and just move the head? 3, 2, 1. Easing the head back to the middle. I'm going to drop the chin down towards the chest. I'm going to curl the head up towards the chest if I'm lying down. And then using the hands around the back of the skull or the top of the head, I'm just going to apply a gentle pressure. I'm going to try and curl the head as far as I can until I can feel a little stretch coming down the back of the neck, right into the base of the skull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then easing the head all the way back. Return it back onto the mat if I'm lying down, and then same as before, I'm just going to gently start turning side to side. Noticing if the movement feels any different. Might feel easier, it might not. I'm just going to try. 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Bringing the head back to the middle, and then this time I'm going to try, if possible, to interlock the fingers, and then I'm just going to cup with the hands the base of the skull, so see if you can really feel where the skull finishes and the neck starts. So I'm just going to give myself a little pillow there, and then from there I'm just going to tuck the chin in. So I'm going to curl the head forward first. I'm going to stretch the back of the neck. Then I'm going to lift the head. I'm going to look forward, look up, and then see if I can feel the neck, the head moving on top of the neck as I'm looking up, as I'm looking back. Then I'm going to try and tilt the chin, length on the back of the neck as I curl forward, as I curl up. And then opening up through the front of the throat, creating a little bit more movement at the top of the neck. Last time, letting the chin drop down to the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. And then lifting the chin up and towards the ceiling, see if I can create a little extension. And then releasing back. Returning the head back to the middle, relaxing the arms back down the side. And then same as before, I'm just going to retest my rotation. So I'm going to turn the head to look one way, come back to the other. And then again, noticing if there has been any change. Does it feel easier? Does it feel better? Does it feel worse? With without forcing the movement. I'm just going to try one more time on each side. And then returning the head back to the middle. Then I'm going to try and see if I can release it slightly to the side. So if you're lying down, keeping the head on the mat, I'm going to try and shuffle my head down to the right. So I'm going to try and drop my right ear, bring my right ear to the right shoulder. I don't want any pinching into the neck, so there is no pain into the neck. If you're seated, see if you can think of the chin staying lifted. So making sure that the chin is not tapping, is not dropping towards the chest, is staying lifted. So I can clearly feel a gentle stretch that goes from the base of the ear down the neck, over the top of the shoulder. I'm going to ease the head back to the center. And then I'm going to try again, same side. So right ear to the right shoulder, I'm going to bring the head to the side. And then this time, if I can, make the stretch a little bit stronger. I'm going to try and press that left shoulder down and away. So see if I can create a little bit more traction into that left side of the neck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back to the middle. Adjusting the shoulders, adjusting the head. I'm going to try and take the left ear to the left shoulder. So adjusting the position, see if I can feel the stretch from the base of the ear coming down the right side of the neck, over the top of the shoulder, down the side. And then holding it steady. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to the center. And then I'm going to try again. So dropping the left ear to the left shoulder. And then this time, the second time around, if I feel that I can go a little bit deeper with the right shoulder, I'm going to press down, creating a little bit more stretch, a little bit more release down the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Bring the head back to the middle, give the shoulders a little bit of a roll, and then same as before, I'm just going to test the rotation. So I'm going to turn the head a little over one side, come back, turn it to look the other way, and then again it might feel better, it might feel worse. I'm not forcing the movement. 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. The neck feels a little bit looser. I'm going to try and see if I can work through the shoulder girdle and thoracic spine. So I'm going to start off with a little rotation, raising the arms to the front, hands together or hands apart. And then I'm just going to start swinging my way around from one side over to the other. So nice easy rotation, going from side to side, from side to side, as if I was trying to loosen up between the shoulder blades in the middle of the back. See if I can create a nice gentle stretch behind the shoulder as I'm reaching across with the arm. The head turning to follow the arms from one side to the other. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Adjusting the body, making sure that I'm back to the center. I'm not slightly off to the side. I'm not wonky. And then I'm going to see if I can create a little bit more movement into the shoulder girdle. I'm going to start with a little elevation depression. So I'm going to shrug the shoulders up to the head, and then I'm going to press them down away. I'm going to shrug them up and press them down. So imagine your shoulder blades to be like the 2 plates behind your rib cage. I'm just going to slide the plates up and down the back of the rib cage. So see if I can create as much movement as possible. Just trying to ease off some of the stickiness and some of that tension from the back of the shoulder, from the top of the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm just going to reset the arms up to the front, and then I'm going to try my rotation again. So just a few times on each side. Again, noticing if it feels any different, easier, harder, a bit looser at the back of the shoulder maybe. 3, 2, 1, and release it back. Returning the arms back by the side. And then I'm going to change the direction again. This time I'm going to go for a little protraction, retraction. So I'm going to pull the shoulders forward as if I was trying to get them to touch at the front. And then I'm going to try and squeeze them behind as if I was trying to get them to touch at the back. So I'm going to pull them forward and then push them back. Pull them forward and then push them back. So this time imagine those two plates moving towards the side of the rib cage as you protract, and then towards the center, towards the middle of the back as you retract. So see if I can make them slide as much as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, returning the shoulders back to the middle, and then I'm going to again retest my rotation. So raising the arms up to the front, and then a nice easy rotation side to side. Again, noticing any difference. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the arms, and then same as I did for the neck, I'm going to change the direction of the movement. One more time. I'm going to see if I can get into a little lateral flexion. So if you're lying down, you might want to support the head with one hand. If I'm sitting up, I don't need to support the head. The head's on top of the shoulder. I'm going to start reaching with my right hand down the right side. So I'm going to flex to the right. And then coming back to the center, I'm going to reach with my left hand down to that left side. So if I'm lying down, I'll be swapping the arms to support the head. So I'm not trying to lift it too high off the ground. I just want to carry it from side to side so it doesn't rub against the mat, it doesn't pull on my head. And then as I keep the movement going, see if you can be aware of the two sets of pulleys down the right and the left side. So see if I can try and pull down on the right and then lengthen the left side of the body. And then pull down on the left, and then I'm going to try and lengthen the right side. So one side and the other. One side and the other. 4, 3, 2, last one. And releasing back. Again, straightening up the back, adjusting the shoulders. And then one more time, I'm going to retest my rotation. So raising the arms to the front, I'm going to swing them around to one side, bring them back, and then swing them the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, last one, and releasing back. Releasing the shoulders, releasing the upper back. It's a little bit more movement into the upper body. I'm going to try and see if I can get some movement working through the hips and the lower back. So starting off with a little pelvic tilt. So I'm going to bend the knees if I'm lying down. And then tilting the pelvis back. I want the lower back to press gently into the mat. And then tilting the pelvis forward, I'm going to bring it back into neutral. So I'm going to tilt it back. and then back into neutral. So think of a nice gentle rocking from the front into the back of the seat bones, feeling the belly tensing to create that little tilt. Again, I'm not forcing anything, noticing if maybe the pull at the back is uneven, so I feel that my left side is pulling a little bit harder than my right, or my right is pulling a little bit harder than my left. 4, 3, 2, last one, and release it back. So I feel a little bit looser down the lumbar spine. I'm going to try and see if I can do a little bit more, but this time instead of going front to back, I'm going to go for a little side to side. So coming up with a little hip hinge, I'm going to try and pull my right hip bone towards the rib cage. So I'm going to try and hitch up on the right. So if I'm sitting, I will try to lift my right seat bone off the chair, then come back and then hitch up on the left to see if I can get that left seat bone. So I'm going to pull up on the right, ease back, hitch up on the left, ease back. So same as you did when you were flexing to the side. This time, instead of trying to take the body to the side, imagine to be taking the hips to the side. So I'm trying to tense the right side of the belly, trying to pull up the right hip, is back, tense the left side of the belly, trying to pull up the left hip, and then back. So this time, feeling the pelvis moving gently from side to side, again, trying to loosen up any stiffness from the lumbar spine, any tension from the lower back. So from one to the other, from one to the other side. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release it back, adjusting the hips and recentering the pelvis. It feels a little bit looser on the hips. I'm going to try and see if I can encourage a slightly deeper tilt. So if you're lying down, I want you to curl the right leg up into the chest. If you're sitting up, using the strap if you need to, or using the hands if you need to, I'm going to reach around the back of the leg to give myself a little support. I'm going to tilt the pelvis back, so I'm going to press the lower back down into the mat, or I'm going to roll the hips back, and then I'm going to pull the right leg as close to the chest as I can. So the closer I get the right leg to the body, the more I can feel the lower back flexing, pressing into the mat. Then I might ease that tension slightly, and then adjusting maybe the position of the leg, see if I can find a better position that doesn't catch on the hip, doesn't catch on the groin. I'm going to try and hug it a little bit closer again. And then I'm just going to ease that tension and then hug it a little bit closer again. So see if I can progressively bring the right thigh closer and closer to the belly, closer and closer to the chest. If I'm seated, it's harder as the leg feels heavier. If I'm lying down, if it feels hard, it's normally because there is a stiffness or restriction in the hip. I'm not forcing, I'm just trying to create movement into the hip joint, or movement into the back at the same time. 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg if you need, extending the leg away, allowing the front of the hip to really open and relax. I'm going to try exactly the same thing with the left side. So I'm just going to curl the left leg up towards the chest, using the strap around the back of the leg if I need to. I'm going to bring it towards me, allowing the back to roll backwards, the pelvis to get into that little tilt, and pulling that left leg towards the chest. is in the hug, and then I'm going to try and see if I can pull it a little bit closer again. Same as you did on the right side, play also with the kind of like angle of the leg as you're pulling it towards you, making sure that it doesn't feel as if the hip is catching, it doesn't feel as if there is a pain and discomfort in the joint. So I'm pulling it just as far as I feel comfortable. I'm not forcing anything. Nothing should be pinching in the hip. 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the leg, allowing the hip to open. If you're lying down, extending the leg away, allowing the front of the hip to have a little stretch, a little opening, a little rest. Just a little bit more movement into the back. And it's some movement into the hip joint too. I'm going to try and keep the hip moving. But this time I'm going to try and see if I can change the direction of the movement more. So I'm going to lift the right leg up. This time you want the knee to point up to the ceiling. So you might want to support the leg with something. So I could use my hands, or I can use the band, whether I'm sitting or lying down. And then imagine a pencil stuck to the very front of your knee, to your kneecap. I'm going to start drawing little circles with that pencil. On the ceiling in front of me if I'm lying on my back, on the wall in front of me if I'm sitting up. So see if you can think of the femur, the thigh bone, turning gently into the hip socket. So I'm trying to ease off some of the tension, some of the stiffness from the hip joint, however small the movement is, however small the movement feels. If I'm seated, I might be able to lift the foot off the ground, I might need to keep it on the ground. It doesn't matter. If I'm lying down, making sure that the hips of the pelvis is not suddenly rolling left and right all over the place. See if I can keep the hips still and just feeling the leg moving into the hip socket. I'm going to reverse the circles. I'm going to go around the other way for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the leg, releasing the hip. I'm going to try the same thing, but working on the left side. So I'm going to switch the strap behind the other leg if I need that support. And then again, picturing that pencil strap to the tip of the knee, I'm going to start to draw my circles to the front. So noticing how different this leg might feel, I might find that it clicks slightly. Can I reduce the size of the circle? Can I slow down the circle and get rid of the click? Is the circle bigger on this side or smaller? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse the circle going the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. So I feel I've got a little bit more movement into the hip joint. This time I'm going to try and see if I can focus a little bit more onto the arms. So working through the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist. I'm going to clasp the hands together, and then I'm going to lock the fingers together. So I'm going to interlock the fingers, interlock the hands. And then from there, I'm just going to try and mobilize the wrist. So I'm going to start rolling the wrist around. So I want you to have a ball in your hands. I'm just going to try and roll the ball. So see if I can try and get as much movement through the wrist as possible, both ways. So one way is harder than the other. One side, one direction is different. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back, releasing through the wrist. I'm going to try and start focusing a little bit more into the elbows too. So I'm going to keep the hands locked together. I'm going to turn the palms away this time. So the palms are facing away from the chest. Then from there, I'm going to try and push my hands to the front. See how straight I can get the arms. So just a little stretch through the wrist and a little bit more movement into the elbow. And I'm going to bend, allow the hands to come down to the chest. And then I'm going to push it away again. See if I can maybe go a little bit straighter with the arms. And then I'm going to ease back. So if I'm seated, it doesn't matter if I'm pushing downwards, just making sure that the shoulders are not shrugging and stiffening. If I'm lying down, the back should be at rest, so it should be feeling quite easy to keep the arms straight ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the arm. Hopefully the wrist feels a little bit looser, the elbow feels a little bit better. This time I'm going to try and focus a little bit more again on the other end, on the legs. Try to see if I can get a little release through the hamstrings and into the back of the legs. So I'm going to grab hold of my band, my belt, my strap, and then I'm going to drop it under the right foot. As the band is set, I'm going to try and straighten out the leg as much as I can. And then I'm going to start to pulling it towards me until I can feel the stretch coming down the back of the leg, the hamstrings. If I'm seated, I can do the same with the band. If I find that I can't do that, I can't lift the foot off the ground, I'm just going to shuffle the legs a little bit further forward, so opening up the back of the right knee, and then I'm just going to lean forward, see if I can create a little traction, a little tension into the back of the leg, but bringing the body forward towards the leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, deep breath in. As you breathe out, see if you can go a little bit deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing your way back. Relaxing the leg, relaxing the arms. I'm going to try the same thing with the other side. So I'm going to slip the band under the left foot. I'm going to straighten up the left leg as much as I can, and then gently pulling it towards me until I can feel a little tension, a little stretch down the back of it. Same as on the other side. If I'm seated and I can't get the legs off the ground, I'm going to try and straighten it a little bit more in front, and then leaning forward until I can feel a little bit of a pull at the back of it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, deep breath in. As you breathe out, to see if you can go a little bit deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Relaxing the leg, releasing the hip. There's a little bit more length into the back of the leg. I'm going to go back into the shoulder and arm. This time I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of a wider movement. So I'm going to start with the arms straight ahead with me. I want the fingers to point straight ahead. So to the ceiling if I'm lying down, to the wall in front if I'm seated up. I'm going to pull out and down with the elbows. So if I'm seated, I want the elbows to push into the imaginary wall behind me. If I'm lying down, I'm going to drop the elbows onto the floor. The fingers are still pointing to the ceiling. I'm going to straighten up the arms. I'm going to spread the arms nice and wide, then bending the elbows, and then I'm going to drive them back up to the ceiling again. So I'm going to pull them down, open wide, bend the elbows, and then reach to the ceiling. So I'm going to open halfway, open all the way, go back to halfway, and then I'm going to reach my way up. 5, open wide, close, and reach up. 4, open wide, close, and reach up. 3, open, close, and reach. 2, open, close, and reach. Last time. I want to open and hold it open. Imagine somebody grabbed hold of your arms and was trying to pull them out of your shoulder sockets. So see if you can reach as far to the side as you can with your right, as far as you can with your left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the elbows, reach them all the way back up. Releasing the arms down, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the upper body and the neck. And then again, I'm going to allow the arms a little rest and then work on the legs. So this time I'm going to see if I can get the stretch coming down the inside of the leg, the inner thigh. So bending the knees, walking the feet towards you, nice and close together. I'm going to let the knees open out to the side. Just allowing the leg to relax into the hip socket, making sure that there is no pain down the side of the hip. And then with the hands, I might reach on the inside of the leg to apply a gentle pressure. See if I can encourage the knees to open up a little bit further. See if I can create a gentle stretch that from the groin comes up the inside of the leg towards the inside of the knees. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, to see if you can go a little bit more for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it back. Relaxing the legs, releasing the hips, bringing the legs back to the middle. And then I'm going to work through the arms again. This time I want a little bit more work, a little bit more tension activation to the back of the shoulder. So if you're lying down, first, I'm just going to keep the arms close to the body. I'm going to bend the elbows and then I'm going to drive the elbows, the back of the arms down into the ground as if I was trying to lift myself up. And then I'm just going to drop back. So I'm going to drive down, see if I can create a little lift, and then come back. The front of the belly is working too, inevitably. If I'm seated up, I'm going to push the elbows back, keeping the arms attached by the side. See if I can think of a nice strong tension right between the shoulder blades into the middle of the back. And then I'm going to relax the arms forward. So I'm going to push them back, and then relax them forward. So see if I can create that little lift if I'm lying, and then back down again. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, stretching the arms, giving yourself a nice tight hug. So you can stretch the back of the shoulders, the middle of the back, making sure that there is no tension left in the middle of the rib cage, in the upper back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Releasing the hug, relaxing the shoulders, and then I'm going to go back into the legs. And this time, what I want is to try and get a little bit more movement, is a little bit more stretch down the side of the hip into the side of the leg. So if you're lying down, I'm going to extend my left leg away on the floor, and then bring the right leg up and towards me. With the left hand, I'm going to hook around the leg, and then gently pulling it across to the left. So see if I can create a nice stretch that from the side of the knee comes down the side of the thigh. If I'm seated up, I'm going to try and cross the right leg over the left, and then pulling it across to see if I can get the same tension. If I can't lift the leg, it's too heavy, it's too much, I'm just going to push both legs to the side, see if I can create a little tension that way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ease and back. Relaxing the legs. I'm going to try the same thing with the other side. Extending the right, bending the left, crossing it over with the right hand. I'm going to gently pull it across to the right to see if I can create that stretch down that left hip, down the left thigh. If seated, crossing if I can, I'm just trying to push both legs off to the side, getting a little bit of a stretch. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. We're releasing the hips, we're releasing the legs, we're bringing the legs back to the center, back to the middle. And then I'm going to try and see if I can get the whole of the body to move together. So bending the knees, the shuffling the feet and the knees nice and close together. I'm going to raise the arms up to the front, and then together I'm going to take the arms to the right, the legs to the left. Then coming back to the center, and then the arms go left, and the legs go right. Back to the center, and then rotate it the other way. So see if I can try and think of all of the spine moving. So I'm going to turn my hips one way, turn my shoulders the other, turn my hips one way, turn the shoulders the other. Picturing that rotation starting from the bottom of the spine, reaching all the way up to the top. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the upper body, adjusting the position of the legs, and then see if I can create a little bit more opening. If you're lying down, extending the legs away on the floor, so try to make yourself as long as you possibly can. If I'm seated up, I'm going to try and sit as tall as I possibly can. I'm going to take a deep breath in As I breathe out, I'm going to start raising the arms up to the front. I'm going to go a little bit wider at the top, and then I'm going to try and push the chest forward as if I was trying to lift my ribcage off the mat. Going into a nice opening, into a nice extension. Then I'm going to close my way back. I'm going to tuck my chin to the chest. I'm going to reach with the arms. I'm going to lift the head and the shoulders off the mat if I'm laying down. And then I'm going to release my way back. The shoulders and head go down onto the mat. I'm going to raise the arms. I'm going to open up. I'm pushing the chest up and towards the ceiling. See if I can encourage that space at the front of the chest, the extension into the upper back. And then reaching the arms forward again, tilting the chin, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders. Easing the shoulders, easing the head, extending through, reaching the arms out, behind, make them as long as you can, opening up the front of the body. And then returning the arms back, reaching forward into the arms, tilting the chin, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders, and releasing all the way back down. Reaching the arms behind me one more time. See if I can open up and lift to the front of the body. And then I'm going to release them all the way back. Relaxing the shoulders, so releasing the back. When you're ready, rolling over onto the side. And in your own time, pushing yourself up into sitting. If you're not already there. Finding your comfortable seated position. Using the arms for support if you need to. If you feel that you're a little bit unbalanced, I'm going to go backwards or fall backwards. And then from there, I'm just going to work through the spine. I'm going to push the chest forward. I'm going to try and lift the chest and lift the breastbone up. I'm going to look forward, look up, look behind. Lengthening and opening the front of the throat to the front of the neck. Then I'm going to release. I'm going to drop the chin down to the chest. So closing the throat, closing the front of the chest, around, and I'm rolling my way down. Then lifting up, extending through, opening up to the breastbone again, lengthening to the front of the throat, lifting up the front of the body. And then releasing again. Closing the throat, closing the front of the chest, around and rolling forward. Last time, standing up. See if I can lengthen and open. Reach long to the front of the chest, the front of the throat. And then releasing and coming forward. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take your bow. Give yourself a clap of that. Any question or anything, please say. I need to unmute you.